What if you want to reversal develop? What's reversal developing? Yep. What is reversal developing? Reversal developing is developing it so that it makes a positive print. Okay. Have you ever seen slide film? It's positive. If you ever seen film that you project in a projector, it's positive. Okay. Reversal film is not negative. It's a positive. I think I've said that enough. Here's the difference between reversal developing and negative developing. It requires a few extra stops, everyone. And I don't mean photo stops. I mean stages is what I mean. Let's get some pictures on here. I've made some teaching aids here, so everyone sit down and calm down. So we're gonna actually learn something right now. Okay, so imagine this picture. This is a picture from Regent's Park in London. Very nice park. This is about halfway up this very wide road here. There's a drinking fountain there, which is switched off because of COVID. So here's your original picture. Here's the original scene that you are filming. Now, once you have filmed that on your film, you have what's called a latent image. Now, you see, I've actually darkened it slightly because it's invisible to the human eye. So imagine that's what you just expose. There's your latent image. Now, as you notice, up here, the sky is white, but your latent image, it's black. That's because the more light hits your film, the more dark it's going to end up. Okay, it's the basics of negatives. That's why there's this whole negative thing in the first place. So when you develop that, these dark areas, the developer hits these latently exposed areas, and it makes them dark, even darker. And that creates this, which is your negative picture. Okay, so let's do that again. That's what your camera sees. That's what's the latent picture that's on your film. And that's your negative after it comes out of the developer and has been fixed. Brilliant. That's negative developing. Couldn't put it any easier. Now, here's the thing. If you've put your negative in the developer for too long, been in the developer for too long, it gets darker. The longer it's in the developer, the darker it gets. So a very, very dark image will result like that. And when you reverse that on your computer, you're just going to get this washed out sort of light image, right? That's what happens if you overdevelop. That's overdeveloping. What about if you underdevelop? Well, that you get this, which is not quite light enough. It's not quite, there's no contrast to it. And your final print will look like this. It'll be too dark, right? That's underdeveloped film right there. Bear that in mind, okay? Now, reversal developing. Now, listen carefully. This took me a long time to understand, and these teaching aids are going to make it a lot easier for you lot to understand as well. Okay, so there's your negative after you've gone through the first developing and the stop bath and everything. There's your negative. You don't fix it yet. What you do is you bleach it. And I'm not talking, when I say bleach, from now on, I'm not talking about bleach to clean your flat or anything. Clean your kitchen floor. Bleach will basically, it's a photo bleach. We call it bleach because it takes away everything you've developed. Okay, all this dark stuff, the dark sky, the darkness, everything in different levels, it gets stripped off by the bleach and leaves you with something looking like this. Now I have colored some of it just an off-white, a kind of a yellowish. Okay, this yellow is unexposed film. This is what's left after you bleach. Okay, unexposed film, and well, that's been taken away by the bleach, and various parts of the picture have been taken away by the bleach. Okay, what happens then? You take the film out of the bleach, you rinse it really well, or you can use a clearing bath, which is a bit like stop bath for bleach. Then you take this unexposed film that's in a certain sort of pattern that's been left over from the bleach. You expose that to light. Now you don't have to put it back in the camera. You just have to put it into just hold it up against a bright light, and the bleach becomes a big latent image. Okay, so that's the unexposed film. It all gets exposed. Doesn't matter how much light you expose it to. Doesn't matter how long you expose it for. Just get all that leftover unexposed film exposed to light. So that's called a re-exposure. Finally, you expose you develop the film you just exposed, and hey presto, it becomes a positive. Right? Now, I'm not going to explain that again. Rewind the show and watch it again, because that's how you make a positive image. This is your final result after you've fixed it. All right. Now, if you've overexposed your negative, let's see what result that has. Okay, so that's your negative. Supposing your first developer, you left it in too long. It's gone too dark. That means that all this darkness is going to be taken away by the bleach, and your result is going to be too light of an image, because that's all that's left is a little bit of unexposed film, and all that's left is this light. Conversely, if you have not left your... oh, I've dropped a piece of paper. Right. If you have taken your film out of the first developer too soon, then it won't remove much of the silver, and you'll get this. No, you won't get that. You'll get this as a result, which is too dark an image. Okay, so if you're reversal developing and your image is too dark, it means that you haven't left it in long enough. If you're negative developing and the picture is too dark, it means you've left it in for too long. Just remember that when you reversal, everything is reversed. Everything is you're through the looking glass. All right. Right, that's enough of that. Oh, I've torn them up. That's no good. Right. So now we have an idea of what reversal developing is compared to negative developing, right? Now, reversal developing, oh my God, there's all sorts of bleachers you can use. There's all sorts of developers you can use. There's even a couple of different fixers you can use. But the most important is the first developing you do. Whether you do negative or reversal, the first developing is the most important. Oh yeah, some discussion on the chat here about water. Benjamin Marriott, Southern water is very hard. Absolutely it is. I have suffered from that myself. Either you could put it through a Brita filter. If you've got a few quid to spare, you can buy mineral water to make your fluids. Anyway, let's see what I did. Let's see what I did with this. Oh, before we go on to that, let's look in the screening room here. I've got some examples. Where am I? Where have I gone? Here I am. Okay, I've got some examples of things that can go wrong during a developing. Okay, you've seen the the overdeveloped and the underdeveloped part of it. What happens if your bleach is no good? Well, this is what happens when your bleach is no good. Horrible things happen when you haven't bleached long enough, or if your bleach hasn't caught every single part of the picture. So it would have been a lovely film. This was done with my Bolia at 70 FPS at a trampoline park with my kids. It would have been a great shot if I hadn't have bloody well screwed up the bleaching. And that's why some of the picture is got contrast, some of it's got no contrast. All the dust and hairs on it, well, that's my fault as well, but that's not the bleacher's fault. And yeah, so this is when you don't bleach properly. Awful. Well, you know, I mean, look, even with when it goes horribly, you can't fault it. Film is so great. Here's another thing that went wrong. I've shown this on a previous film, but this is solarization. I think I exposed the film to, I think it got flashed by light halfway through the developing somehow. Either that, or I didn't re-expose the second time. I didn't do that long enough. So basically, some of the picture is negative and some of it is positive, which is crazy. When you mix negative and positive in the same picture, you get this mad effect there called solarization. That can go wrong. What else can go wrong? Well, something can go right, sort of, which is if you're supposed to use different developers the first time round and the second time round. If you use the same developer first time and second time with Kodachrome, I find it gives it this amazing wee color, this Lucozade kind of orange tint. or yellow rather, tint to the reversed picture. This is some expired Kodachrome 40. And it gets I don't know, yellow and black is nice. It's nice. It's not a bad result, and as long as that's what you're actually going for. I still can't remember exactly why it does this, but this is if you use the first developer a second time. It might have something to do with colloidal silver. I'm not sure what causes the yellow. Anyway, that's a lovely shot there. I love that. That's Kensington Gardens pre-COVID. Anyway. I was just about to go to the Albert Hall there and see Bill Burr in line. There is Bill Burr. Hey, old red face there. Whatever.